Hey guys, after viewing the YouTube stats, I noticed that the car was getting some attention, so I thought I'd do a quick review of the car and just show you guys what it is. It's a 2008 Mazda 3 GT. It's been left alone. This is basically how I got it. Apart from I wanted to keep the factory rims, but I wanted a little bit of an offset and a little bit better turning. So I put spacers in, 1.5 inch spacers, and I know the people will say, oh, those will come loose and they'll shake and rattle off. Well, you torque them properly, they won't. So the car is quite dirty still. The windows tinted, that's how I got it. I bought it like pre-owned. Keep getting moisture in the tail lights, but doesn't really bother me. And it's got the exhaust cutout, electronic exhaust cutout, which I'll show you guys in the car. I ended up actually changing that because the electronics failed on that. That's pretty much all it has, other than pop the hood. It has a cold air intake. That's it. Original factory motor. Still runs excellent. It's a 2.3 liter, and it's got decent horsepower and torque for what it is. It's just a small 4-cylinder. So yeah, like, I mean, it seems like a pretty decent car. Handles nice. It's quite sporty for being a 4-door. The only complaints I have about it is that it's over bumps, it's kind of noisy, and I've changed a few pieces out, and it just doesn't really make a difference. The interior here is pretty dirty. I went to go and wash it, and car wash is all down, and they don't even have vacuums going right now and whatnot. So I was like, well, alright, whatever, it's a used car. So we get inside here. It's a little bit quieter now. Highway is right next to me here. Anyways, as you can see, I've got a dash cam. I'll get the keys here. The interior is pretty basic on it. It's got heated seats and all that. Like the GT is, it's got all the luxury stuff, moonroof and all that stuff and whatnot. Changed the shifter knob just because I like the feel of a ball better instead of the usual leather kind of tall piece. Yeah, the exhaust cutout is actually, what it ended up doing was taking a little electric motor off of it, installing a return spring, and this is a choke cable for a car. It's just a universal choke cable I got from Napa, and it seems to work great. One of the problems you guys are going to notice right away is because of the cold air intake. So that is just washer fluid is low, no big deal, and e-brake turns off and I'm not wearing a seatbelt. The check engine light, that is because of the cold air intake, and that's a little bit frustrating because I like the cold air intake. It's just kind of nicer, it's a little cleaner looking and whatnot. It doesn't really do a whole lot for horsepower, but you know, it is what it is. But it needs this, I couldn't believe it when I read it. I thought it was a joke, but for the 2.3 liters, they need what's called an air straightener, which is basically goes in line with the cold air intake, and it's like a small baffle, because on idle, not while you're driving, but on idle, it gets basically not a great reading of the air fuel mixture going into the engine, and it's just upsets it on idle. So it's the what would you call that? I can't think of it, but it's only on idle that does it. And the computer, it shows the fault, so it shows you that it's not happy with what it's doing, but it corrects it. So I've just left it alone for now because it's not doing any harm, it's not doing anything bad, it runs perfectly smooth on idle. It just when you first started, after the battery was disconnected and the cold air was installed, it was just a little bit, the RPM wanted to go up and down and just couldn't quite find itself right away to find its happy medium spot. So let's go for a drive here, hopefully there's not too much traffic. First I'll show you guys the exhaust cutout here, how this works. So right now the car is fairly quiet, it's got all the stock exhaust on it. So now we open this up and right away you can notice the difference, and there it's quite a bit louder. Now I'm getting people looking at me. Let's get out of here. People are thinking, what is he doing? So yeah, the car is quite smooth to drive, other than just noisy over bumps. So let's I'm gonna do up this window. It is noisy out there. Wow. Next to a highway here. So we will head back into town as soon as the traffic is stopped here. Come on, one more guy. Yeah, it's gonna be a little tough to shift one-handed, but I think I'll be able to do it. There. Got it in 5th gear now. Car stays pretty straight on the road. It depends on the crown of the road, of course. If it's like we're going around a corner and it's leveled a little bit, I think they do that on purpose for the water. But yeah, like I mean, on a flat road, going straight, it stays pretty straight. How it should. Yeah, there's really not much you can complain about these cars. They're like, I mean, it's got you can see 180,000 kilometers on it, and it's still like, I mean, the only parts I've had to change were O2 sensor, the secondary O2 sensor, and oh, that'd be a cop right there. It's probably not allowed to be videoing well. So that brakes and sway bar end links are the only things I've had to replace on it. And like, I mean, tires of course and whatnot, but that's not a big deal. And yeah, the oh, another cop. Nope, somebody else. The exhaust cutout here, if I'll open it up here. So instantly here the car is a little bit louder. As far as horsepower, yeah, it's not really doing a whole lot. It's like, I mean, you can notice a little bit, but like I said in the video of the installation, this would be much better on a turbo car, and it's on a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. It's not doing a whole lot for it. So now we're in the city. Got a little bit of a steering wheel shake. Not entirely sure what it's from, but the car's always done it, and it doesn't get bad or anything. It just, I don't know. I think maybe the front rotors maybe got a little bit of a warp to them. I'm not entirely sure. These engines like to be revved up a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to seem like too much of a dick on the road here, so I'll slow it down here. But yeah, like, I mean, now it's all uphill and the car pulls really nice, especially for a 4-cylinder, 2.3 liter. Yeah, and the Mazdas, one of the things about these is people say, oh, it's a Ford, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's actually not. It's there's a lot of parts that cross-reference to the Fords, to the I believe it would be the Focus, but the car itself is actually made in Japan. It is not manufactured in the States or China or anything else. It says on the door itself, made in Japan, manufactured in Japan. Whereas the Ford Focuses, I believe they're made in America. So we're heading up a hill again here. Let's see how it does. Like, I mean, it's no problem to take it up to like 4,500 RPM. The motor does not mind that. Slipped on the shifter there. And so yeah, that's the video. I could show you guys more driving, but yeah, it's like, I mean, there's not a whole lot to see. Like, I mean, the car is what it is, and it's nice for what it is, but it is really, like, I mean, it's nothing special. It's no Ferrari. And so yeah, I'll pull over here, and I'll see you guys later.